trying and ranking all 11 Feastables. Chocolate, gummies, cookies, from best to worst. That is rancid. And the wheel decides the order. Almond. Nice wavy ridges, smooth back, and you see some almond chunks on the back. It's a pretty thin chocolate bar. I like the crunch of the almond. The actual chocolate, very flat, one note, not a lot of depth, not a lot going on. So Feastables, simple ingredients, but it doesn't matter if it doesn't taste good. I'm a little concerned about the chocolate going forward. I hope some of the other flavors really help punch it up a bit. It's a 4.2 to start. Milk chocolate plus peanut butter. Ooh, The peanut butter really helps this chocolate. It works together well. A lot more depth with the peanut butter. These nuts be good. Putting it ahead of the almond. And of course, we're gonna combine all 11 Feastables into one bite. And we're gonna try it and rank it at the end. Presenting the FrankenFeetable. Up next, chocolate chip cookie. It's like half the size of a Chips Ahoy. Super inconsistent with the chocolate chip distribution. We have barely any chocolate chips on this one, all of the chocolate chips on this one. The texture leans towards the crunchy side. It doesn't go all the way snap and crunch. It tries to bring it a little bit to the soft side, and all it does is make the texture feel like sidewalk chalk. It's like a weird in between. Cookie on its own, pretty weak offering. This is a 5.1, little better than the almond, not as good as the D's nuts. We have the original chocolate, the OG. What I like about the chocolate, I like the simple ingredients, but when something is so straightforward, it should also just be phenomenal. And this, it's lacking a bit. But, because I will say, it is far better than any Hershey's poo-poo caca that they have. Hershey's is disgusting chocolate. Feastables is miles ahead of Hershey's. The original's still pretty basic. It's like a 3.3 for me. It's gonna go last, because I like the almond better. Crunch. Milk chocolate with puffed rice. Nice texture on the back. Same ripples on the front. Way thicker than the other bars. The crunchies don't really add a new taste. It's definitely all 100% a texture play, but that's really good. I think the D's Nuts taste is better. A solid 6.8 showing for crunch. We got the chocolate sea salt. It's very similar to the OG. I do get a tiny bit of salt. The salt doesn't help it as much as I thought it would. Sea salt's a 3.8. Ooh. I just bit on a chunk of salt. That 3.8 knocked down to a 3.6. Slightly worse than the almond. The peanut butter chocolate chip cookie, they look identical to the chocolate chip ones, but when you smell it, you get a big whiff of peanut butter. Yes. Woo! They're still towing the line in between that crunchy cookie and the soft cookie, leaning more towards the crunch texture. Doesn't feel as chalky as a chocolate chip one. That might be a case of the peanut butter helping bring everything together. A true delight. Now mix these with some vanilla ice cream, Blizzard, McFlurry. You're welcome. Insert the new favorite. The Quinoa Crunch Chocolate. Same as the OG, but instead of puffed rice, you have quinoa providing the crunch. There's not as much texture as the crunch with the puffed rice. Okay, not as crisp and fluffy. The quinoa is just like very concentrated little crunch bullets. It's not bad, but there's no flavor coming from the quinoa. It's not as good as the almond, but I like it better than the sea salt. Before I move on to the next one, if you like what you're watching, please subscribe. Tell us what we should try next. This could get weird. Wow. The milk chocolate with grass-fed milk. Exact same texture as the OG chocolate. Ooh, softer mouthfeel. A little bit more velvety. This blows the original completely out of the water. There's a lot of depth in this one, and I enjoyed that. Better than the chocolate chip cookies. Not as good as the crunch. Which gummy are we gonna get? The blue raspberry or sour green apple? Oh, that is rancid. It's a little translucent. Very sticky texture. It smells worse than it tastes. a hint of the green apple. I wish it did more. I wish it was more sour, more apple. All it does is like just make my hands extremely sticky. Not terribly offensive, but it is the worst of the bunch. The blue raspberry gummy. If you remember my last video about Prime, I hated the blue raspberry flavor. Will this be worse? More firm than the green apple. These aren't sour. The texture of this one tastes like leather, gummy leather, some sour specks that all they do is make your hands sticky. No! This is a miss. I'm gonna rank this worse than the green apple. Eating all 11 Feastable items in one bite. Oh, not the gummies. Oh, all I want there to be is some peanut butter. Oh, disgusting. Dead last. Overall, an admirable showing for Feastables. I think this line does have potential. The grass-fed chocolates did so much better than the original recipe chocolates. Worst of the day, the blue raspberry sour gummies. And the best bite of the day, the peanut butter chocolate chip Feastable cookies. More of this, not more of this. Palate cleanser,